Today we're talking about your rights if you've been involved in a motorcycle accident. My name's Andrew Iacobelli and I'm a personal injury lawyer with Iacobelli Law Firm. What I want to talk about today is why motorcycle accidents are different than the typical car accident case. Unfortunately, there is still a bias among some part of the population against motorcycle operators. There's a stereotype that motorcycle riders are just looking to go fast and speeding and driving sometimes recklessly. And as a motorcycle rider, I know that stereotype is most often not true. It doesn't really represent the majority of motorcycle riders out there. But unfortunately, that's a bias sometimes that we find in our cases that go against the motorcycle rider in terms of witness accounts and sometimes ultimately what the police conclude. Another issue with motorcycle accidents that makes them unique is witness accounts. Oftentimes motorcycle accidents, the witness accounts tend to suggest that the motorcycle driver was speeding more than they actually were. And part of this is because witness accounts aren't always reliable with respect to speed, can lead to the wrong conclusions with respect to the speed of the motorcycle. So while it's important in all car accident cases to have a personal injury lawyer early on to protect your rights, I would say particularly important in the case of a serious motorcycle accident. And you want a lawyer that's going to be able to have the resources and put in the effort to obtain witness accounts as soon as possible, speak to the witnesses and figure out if they're reliable or not, and preserve that evidence which is reliable and supportive of your case. Oftentimes there's physical evidence at the scene of the accident, physical evidence in terms of the property damage, equipment being worn, the vehicles involved, property damage to the motorcycle, for instance. Sometimes black box recordings in most new automobiles. And all of that needs to be, in some cases, needs to be preserved, investigated, and assessed. You also want to make sure you have a firm that, or a lawyer that's familiar with the right experts. There's accident reconstruction that sometimes is necessary in a motorcycle accident, particularly if it's a serious motorcycle accident where maybe the motorcycle rider doesn't have a full understanding or memory of the events leading up to that collision. And in those cases, very often you need an engineer or accident reconstruction expert, but somebody that's very familiar with the unique operations of a motorcycle. And we have a lot of experience with motorcycle accident cases. Is the lawyer someone that's familiar with motorcycles? Has he ridden a motorcycle? Does he understand the motorcycle culture and the joy and thrill of riding a motorcycle, and really understand the things that motorcyclists do to protect themselves while riding? And I can say at this firm, speaking for myself at least, I have experience riding motorcycles. I've ridden motorcycles since I was a child, starting with dirt bikes, and I can appreciate the joy and pleasure that goes into riding a motorcycle, but I think more importantly, I understand what it takes to ride a motorcycle safely, and can bring that knowledge on behalf of my clients, and sometimes be able to counter some of the misconceptions that the insurance company adjuster might have, or even sometimes the opposing lawyer. If you're involved in a serious accident, it's always important to speak to a knowledgeable personal injury lawyer, and particularly if it's a motorcycle accident, you want to get the advice early on to preserve your rights. You probably have a whole bunch of questions. If you or a family member has been involved in a serious motorcycle accident, we're here to help. We offer free consultations. I'm happy to speak to you and your family and discuss some of your rights if you've been involved in a motorcycle accident. Our consultations are always free. Feel free to call us day or night, 24/7. Thanks for listening.